All right, guys, we're gonna do a venison neck pot roast today. We have to do a little prep work before we do the actual cooking part. So I got it right here. I have a neck roast from a buck I shot on public land. You need a neck roast that's like 2 to 4 pounds. 4 pounds if you got the bone in. This one has a bone in. So we have a 4-pound neck roast. Okay, that's thawing out a little bit because we have to put it in a marinade. So in this pot, I have 1 bottle of red wine. We're gonna bring that to a boil with some spices in it. And then once it cools down, we will put the neck roast in it and let it marinate overnight. So the marinade is very simple. It's a bottle of red wine in a pot. You're gonna take about 10 black peppercorns. Okay. Doesn't have to be super specific, but 10 whole juniper berries, which you can get on Amazon for like $5.
We should get royalties for that.
Okay. And a couple bay leaves, like 3. All right. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put the bay leaves in there. You're gonna take the peppercorns and the juniper berries. You're gonna take a nice flat knife here and just crush them a little bit so that when they boil, they get some flavor into the wine. All right. Okay, and then we are going to bring that to a boil. Now, once that comes to a boil, you just turn the heat off, let it cool down. Then you're gonna get yourself like a plastic container or a bowl or something. You'll take the neck roast, you put it in there, and then you'll put the wine around it and get it submerged, and then you'll put it in the fridge overnight. You can do it up to 4 days ahead of time if you really want the marinade to sink in. But you get that in the marinade, and then we will follow up with actually cooking the roast. So we marinated our neck roast here. Okay, it's been in the fridge overnight marinating. So now we need to dry off the neck roast with some paper towels. Let that drain a little. Get the spices off there. Make sure there's no bay leaves stuck to it. Okay. Save the marinade because we're going to use some of that for cooking. Get yourself some kosher salt, not iodized salt, okay? Salt the roast really well on all sides. Don't worry about over salting it. All right. Now, you're going to make a mixture of 1 cup flour, of roughly a tablespoon of paprika. I'm just going to eyeball it. Right there. Okay. I can edit that out.
No, edit this out.
Edit this part out because I didn't know this was. Okay, about 1 tablespoon of paprika. And You can do anywhere up to a tablespoon of cayenne. I'm only going to use a pinch because we're feeding kids with this. Give that a good mix. Get your venison roast. So you're gonna roll the roast in the flour mixture. Get it nice and coated. Get some in the cracks there. We're gonna be browning this in that pot right there. So you wanna make sure you get it nice and coated. All right. Then you're gonna take, I'm using lard here. You can use bacon fat or even vegetable oil, olive oil. I prefer lard. Take about a 1/4 cup of that. You're gonna put it in the pot and get that going on medium-high heat so that you can brown the roast. So we got the lard heated up, medium-high heat. Take our roast and we're gonna get it down in there to brown. So this process might take a few minutes, but you want to get a nice brown crust on the venison on all sides. So you're gonna have to turn it a few times. So we brown the venison on all sides. You're gonna take it out, set it aside. And in the pot, you can add 2 onions sliced from root to stem. I'm gonna brown those. It's gonna take a few minutes, so turn your heat down a little bit so it doesn't burn. So we finished cooking the onions. We're gonna add 2 cups of the liquid that you braised the neck roast in back into the pot. We're gonna bring that to a boil. Okay, we're gonna take our venison and add it to the pot. Okay, and 2 cups of water. Let that come to a little bit of a simmer. Then we preheated our oven to 325. Take a cover, put it on the pot, stick it in the oven. And we are going to set our timer for 1.5 hours. Our pot roast has been in the oven for 1.5 hours. We take it out. We add 3 Yukon Gold potatoes, 3 carrots, 1 turnip, a couple stalks of celery. We're gonna put that all in the pot. There's all the vegetables in the pot. And we are going to put it back in the oven for another 1.5 hours. The roast has been in there for 3 hours. And this is the final product. There it is. So I get the roast out, get it on a cutting board. We'll let that cool off for a little while, then you'll shred the meat off the bone or slice it off. With a neck roast, you're probably gonna have to just kind of shred the meat off the neck and then serve it with the vegetables and a side of sour cream. And you're good to go. Outdoor Drive podcast. Listen to it.